Hi everyone, we have covered the tips for if you're going through the Ascension, which most people are, and if you're aware of that. So we've done a video on that. I want to do a bit of a video on covering maybe some of the things that you're experiencing through the Ascension. Maybe you're not sure if you're going through the Ascension. So this is a video for anyone who's unsure whether they are going through the Ascension and maybe some of the things you may find whilst going through this. Everyone is going to go through it differently though. So whatever I say in this video, some of it may resonate, some of it may not. Okay. I had my own experience of it as well. So everyone is going to go through it slightly differently, but there's just going to be some similarities to some extent. Okay, so the Ascension, as I've said before, the Ascension that's going on, which is the same as basically the awakening, because the Ascension is helping us wake up to our soul self. And how that's happening is that we are being activated through our heart, and therefore it's helping rise up our consciousness levels. This is what everyone's going through. It's basically all about aligning to who and what we are. As we bodily wise, all kinds of wise, I want to say, as we start learning how to align to who and what we are, which is on a soul level, which is our complete truth, really, our body, our minds, our ego, all this stuff we've come here with from all these past lives, our ancestry line, all this stuff has to be deleted. And the way it gets deleted is by going through this ascension, because as you go through this ascension, more and more stuff gets deleted within you, and you rise up more and more into a higher vibration, which is where we are all going to on Earth. Okay, so some of the symptoms you might be experiencing or have already experienced. I'm going to put it down to 7 or 8. I don't know how far it's going to go. So I'm going to start with number 1. Number 1 is you might be feeling shaky, nervous within your body. You might be feeling like almost like there's tremors within your body going on, the shaky feeling within your body. It might be trauma that's being released through your body. That could be one of the things that's going on, because trauma, I don't know if anyone knows, but it gets stuck within our body, right? This is how trauma works. It goes right within our body. And this is one of the things, again, we've come here with. So it might be a release of trauma that's going on within your body, but in terms of how you might be perceiving it, would be some kind of shaky feeling within your body that you may not be able to explain. It might be some kind of unexplained trauma or unexplained vibrations is another way of saying it within your body that you might be feeling. That might also come across as feeling nervous. A lot of bodily changes will be going on through this ascension. Number 2, talking of bodily changes, you might feel sick sometimes, nauseous, might have some bowel issues in your life. Okay, so again, bodily changes that are happening within you, because we have to clear all this stuff in order to get to this high vibration and into a lighter way of being. Number 3, basically more mental health issues that you might have in your life. So it could be deep depression, like a lot of depression. Like I'm being told depression is going to be a thing that a lot of people more and more now are going to be experiencing. Depression. Anxiety is another one. Anxiety will happen as well more and more during this ascension, maybe for you. And again, all this stuff you might feel it through the body. And also with depression, it's going to feel like some kind of, low stillness kind of vibe that might be going on within your life. You may not want to get up in the morning. You may not want to do the things that you're usually wanting to do in your life. You may not want to go to work, all this stuff, right? And I have said this before, work is a bit of a thing as well. If you feel like you're being, if you feel like you're just not resonating in your current job that you've been having for God knows how long, and you suddenly want to do something different, you suddenly want to have a different career, or you're just not feeling it anymore, that's definitely a thing that I've noticed in a lot of my clients. It's quite common. Number 4, heart palpitations. This is one that I know I experienced, and I've heard other people experience something similar to this as well. I know one other person that's definitely experienced this. Heart palpitations is a thing. I'm being told, look, you're going to feel it. Some people may not, and many people are not, but some people will. I was one that definitely felt it. So when I went through this, I wasn't sure whether I was having some kind of anxiety attack, but one of the things that it definitely felt like to me, and honestly, my mind could not even understand why I would even feel this, because it just didn't make any sense, was that I just felt like my heart was beating differently. And I thought, well, how can someone feel that their heart is beating differently when I've never calculated my heart? I even before this is Ascension, I never really, lied there and listened to my heartbeat, really. So how can someone be able to tell that that the heart is beating differently, like a different beat? I didn't even think it was such a thing. And they're saying it's definitely a thing. So yes, and there's, you could say there are conditions that would say this is what's going on, but really it is the ascension that's going on and it's affecting our heart. And it might feel like your heart is beating differently. It might just feel like you're having really severe, extreme heart palpitations, because again, Mother Earth is activating our heart. So we are going to feel things probably to some degree, maybe through our heart, right? Number 5, feeling lighter within your body, coming to a more lighter feeling. Your lifestyle might be changed, right? It might be different now. You might be doing lighter things. Your whole life routine might just be different. The way you eat might be lighter. You may not be eating so much. Maybe you're doing fasting, maybe for the first time ever. You're eating lighter foods, you're eating more greens, maybe you're drinking more water, all this stuff. You are basically changing to a new way of being. So as again this goes on, your routine, your lifestyle, everything that maybe you were doing before that was a bit more dense is now going to change into a lighter way of doing things. So your lifestyle might look different in terms of as well, maybe you're a bit more active, or maybe you don't want to be active, but you want to do better within your body, where you might want to do more exercise, or maybe you want to go out more, maybe you want to be more in nature. That's another thing, right? So your lifestyle definitely might look quite different. So nature is definitely a thing. People are going to feel more and more connected to nature. So you might find you just want to be out in the woods, in the forest a bit more as well. Number 6, this is something that definitely happened to me, is sleep changes. So you might find that you either want to sleep more, or that you find that you struggle to sleep, right? So it might be difficult for you during the night to sleep. You might wake up in the middle of the night for a while, or you might go in and out of sleep a bit more. Maybe when you wake up in the morning, you might feel very not so rested, feeling like a bit nervous, feeling like you haven't rested enough, or that you feel so tired. And sometimes you feel tired because you've done a lot of sleep, a lot of work in your sleep as well. So just some changes that might happen in terms of sleep as well. Number 7, I know I experienced this. Now, what I experienced in my awakening was quite extreme. So I don't feel like many people will experience this, but you might. But I'm going to tell you, look, some people will, as they're going through this awakening. On a soul level, you might have chosen to go through something severe, because like me, if I hadn't experienced it in this way, I wouldn't have been able to do this. My soul decided that I had to go through something severe in order for me to be pushed through to do the missions that apparently my soul decided to kind of do. And that's why. So everyone's different. Now, what I was going to say is, and I know that I'm not the only one that experienced this, I do know someone else who has experienced this. This one for me was a little scary, a little concerning when I went through it, but there was nothing to be scared of. And that is, you might be finding that you're being pulled to things. Like, I felt it through my body. I felt like there was something, like a force behind me, forcing me, pushing me forward to go to certain places, to meet certain people, to be in certain situations. I didn't understand it. It felt a bit too much and quite overwhelming, to be honest with you. I mean, my time when I went through this was very, very emotional. I mean, that's another thing that you might go through. High emotions, definitely, because there's a lot of emotions going on within your body, of course. But this can happen. So if you feel like you're being pulled to things and you just can't make sense of it, and I know when I went through, I didn't even want to go. I didn't even want to go to these places. I just felt like I didn't want to go, but I kept on being, it felt like a physical push to go to certain places and to do certain things that in my mind I didn't actually want to do. So that can feel a bit concerning, but from what I understand, it's because the push of that has to happen for us to see, right, what we need to see, because otherwise we may not be able to see it. So a push that you might feel could be one of the symptoms, maybe one of the experiences that you have had or will have in the future. Number 8, this might be a little later on, but feeling, I know I've been going through this, feeling more aligned to yourself. You just feel a bit more able to be with yourself, a bit more like holding yourself. You feel relaxed, that's the word, feel more relaxed within yourself. You're just going to feel more aligned to who and what you are. And that's like a lighter, more carefree and more fulfilled kind of feeling. That's the only way I can say it. So that will come more and more as you go through it. Now, the ascension is happening. So no matter how aligned you are going to be, you are absolutely still going to be experiencing these energies that's going on, because there's all these shifts going on, right? And I know that for me, there are some days when I wake up and I don't understand what's going on, but I can feel it within my body. And then I remember that it's because of all these changes that are going on. So we are going to be feeling all these pushes and these pulls as it's going on in this ascension, as Mother Earth is kind of rising up herself. And because of all the things, the shifts and the changes that's going on in terms of politics, wars and everything else you can think of, right? We feel that because as we are waking up, we are going to be feeling things more and more. This is our consciousness that's rising. The other thing I want to say is, as part of this is, from what I understand, our karma being cleared. This is the part of our life where we are clearing karma, right? So we are clearing karma from all our past lives, ancestry line, everything. So we're deleting all these old patterns. So what that might mean is that right now, and maybe for a little bit, it may not finish anytime soon for some of us, or at least a lot of us maybe, we might be in certain relationships, friendships, whatever, however you want to say, any kind of relationships, or be entangled in something with people in our lives because of karma that is still need to be worked through. So right now we are clearing karma, and one of the ways we clear karma is through relationships. Relationships are great for that because it shows us who and what we are. We need that as a mirror for ourselves. So you might be finding that you are in certain relationships with people in your life and it's affecting you, but that needs to be affected. You need to be affected by that because the trigger needs to be there in order for you to be activated, in order for you to clear the karma, to be aligned to who and what you are. So what I'm trying to say is, again, trust the process, really trust the process. It's all part of it. Karma needs to be cleared before we can be completely, fully aligned to who and what we are. And this is basically what's happening.